Good morning. This is Alex Rose from Spain this time, and I'm here to introduce in a short way our training in ATI, the Adventure Therapy Institute, based in Germany. So uh, the start is just to introduce a little bit because this is for our survey, and the data will be used for the 10th International Adventure Therapy Conference in Taiwan June 2025. So this is just a little overview. And if you're watching this, yeah, that's the reason it is done. This video is done. So again, this is Alex from Spain, Alexander Rose, and I'm a clinical psychologist that has been involved, yeah, since 2007, 2008 in adventure nature therapy, mostly working in Europe and also Latin America as well. Um, and together with Christiane Thiesen from Germany, we run the Adventure Therapy Institute since 2021. And we have developed several trainings, but the one we will talk about today a little bit is the Adventure Nature Therapist. It is a complex training, so I will use some slides, not really slides, but some other materials to explain it in a better way. And it is an 18 months, year-long blended training. So it's also structured in three different levels. And yeah, as I said, together with Christiane and also Per from the Netherlands and some other people, we train this training mostly so far in Europe, and we had also two editions in Latin America. Let me just share the screen. You should be seeing it now. So as I said before, it's three-level training, and you need some requisites to come into the training. But before, well, this training is based on, we'll say, recommendation or guidelines from this beautiful workshop we had in Australia before the international conference. It was called The Cave. And there were discussed among many professionals and trainers in the scene what the core elements might be of this training. So this is our guidelines, the core elements of the cave workshop we had in Australia years ago. And we have been bringing this training and introducing specific cultural aspects wherever we work. So if it's in Europe, it's, well, more this vision. If it's in South America, it's a different vision in that sense. And then what the aim is also, once you have the certification, since it's based on these core elements, this training can be, well, certified in a way from the Association Experiential Education in the US. In Germany also, specifically, there is a federation of experiential education, and they have a working group, and they have defined also what the mission statement of the adventure therapists are, and also the professional profile. So we also base our learning in competences that are described by the German Federal Association of Individual and Experiential Education. So to enter our training, you need already requirements, even only for the level one. So you need, of course, to be healthy in a way so you can work outdoors. So you will need a medical sheet or something like this, depends on the place you're coming from, and then qualifications as well. So a certification of at least 100 days and 8 hours a day of having worked or been trained in experiential education, and that you have guided also people outdoors, groups outdoors. So that's actually a prerequisite because, well, the conception is that we take for granted and there is a specific training already. Um, already. So once you prove this, then you can submit for the level one, and that's the column on the left. The blue one, when you finish, you will obtain a diploma with an adventure nature therapy practitioner. You need to be also 21 years old. And well, there's the training elements, which are module 1 and 2. We also do it together, but it's easier to explain. So module 1 is nature and adventure as a co-therapist, and module 2 is nature and adventure therapy programming. Then you will need to do another intervention course, what might be archery, kayaking, whatever, but with always with a intervention method behind it. So you can enroll in our other offer of training, or you can do it somewhere else, and it's going to be recognized as well. Then there is also 8 hours online, 8 hours in a self-organized learning group, and then you will have also supervision. Once you finish that, then you will go through an exam, an open book exam it's called. You have a 72 hours time window, and then, well, once you have all this, you will obtain the certification. I will just switch down here. So to obtain the certification, actually, you will hand in all this. Of course, a clean extended police clearance certificate, a mental health first aid certificate, a first aid outdoors certificate as well, preferably internationally recognized, of course, and then also depending on your entrance diploma, and this is one of our struggles in the company. It really depends in the country you live, in your regulations there. You will be able to work clinically on it or not, but at least you will need a minimum of 80 hours of additional education or training in psychology or pedagogy. That means that you will have also to bring a paper which says that you have also this kind of experience and or training. Once you have finished this, you can go to level 2. When you finish, the certification is called Clinical and Adventure Nature Therapy Practitioner. So it's more a clinical view. And here, modules 3 and 4, again, can be both modules together or separate. We offer them together and separately. It's 5 days modules usually. So the third one would be clinical and adventure nature therapy, and then the fourth one is clinical professionalization. We talk about the profession itself and what else you may need. Then is 40 hours online theory, and also self-organized learning groups, and also supervision. Here, again, when you finish, then you have an exam with around 150 questions online, which you will pass when you study and you're present in our training. And then you will obtain, as I said, the certification of clinical adventure nature therapy practitioner. Depending on your entrance diploma, and that's one of the challenges actually in the training, because it's internationally. So we have people from Sri Lanka or somewhere else, Latin America. So everybody has a different entrance and also a different system. So that's one of the challenges. But anyway, if you are allowed to do clinical or psychological or therapeutical work in your country, then you can access to the level 3. Level 3 is a bit different. You can do, or you have to do at least one advanced clinical knowledge course. That means that, for example, trauma sensitive work or specializing with eating disorders or, I don't know, burnout. So you need to at least do this little piece of training, whether in ATI or somewhere else, of course. And then you need to present some different things. So in the certification module, we meet with the group. And so beforehand, you have to write a kind of a master thesis. It's down here, around 30 pages more or less. Two case reports actually, with your intern somewhere, and then you have to present this in front of a panel of specialists where it will be evaluated. And that's in presence in well for 3 days usually in relationship with some colleagues from university and so on. You also have supervision. And once you're finished and you have all these requirements we said before, then you will finish with this clinical and adventure nature as a clinical and adventure nature therapist certification. This is a bit about the program. Uh, as I said, it's around 18 months long, but you can start in different moments actually in the training. It takes mostly part in Europe, so training has been done so far, different modules as you have seen, in the Netherlands, in Iceland, in Germany, in Greece, also in Colombia. So yeah, the training is also usually whether German and English together in different groups, or in Latin America in Spanish. The topics, the most relevant ones, are included in these different modules I was explaining, so you can imagine a little bit more about this. Our conception is mostly as a humanistic approach in nature-based therapy, outdoor therapies, and yeah. Yeah, we are an international team of trainers, and they all bring their knowledge and experience into the trainings, which is really broad enough then. So the method actually it's blended. It's 23 days in presence, uh, 48 hours online. Then we have also supervision and self-organized learning groups, as you said, as you heard, and also some other modules you can do in our academy or somewhere else they are recognized. The biggest challenges actually, as I told, is the qualifications of our students coming into the training. So this is something we really study one by one, and then we really can assess and yeah, during the process what is best for this person coming into our training. And then of course also the cultural context. So what we do is adapt all the newest, I will say, trends in our field also to the cultural context. So you can imagine the training was different for Latin America than for the German speaking area. So that's one of the biggest challenges we have faced. We're also preparing some other trainings in South Africa, for example, and here it's exactly the same. So we are doing a lot of work ourselves as trainers to get to know the cultural context and to, well, not being the white man's brain knowledge, because that's not how it works. We have really good traditions all over. So we try to integrate them also. Well, how people is in the land, lives in the land, and also in nature. So this is really most plus. And hopes, I would say, is sharing of practices, of trainings, enriching the field. Uh, and I really hope that, well, the quality standards are really high. And so everybody going into the field of work, into the field of adventure and nature therapist, outdoor therapy, is really prepared to face challenges, but also, of course, do no harm with the participants, patients, clients they work with. And of course, they use these methods in order to heal and to help people develop in a healthy way in their lives. So thank you very much. And yeah, on the link, you will find also some other links. On the YouTube channel, you will find other links which are more helpful perhaps to understand in a deeper way the training. Thank you so much.